Welcome to Making Memoir Magic, the podcast where we unlock the power of your story and guide you through the magical process of turning life experiences into memoirs that inspire and impact. I'm your host, Carrie Kreisman, a memoir mentor and storytelling champion, and I'm here to help you find the courage to embrace your unique story and share it with the world. Whether you're just starting out or refining your final draft, this is the place to be for practical tips, inspiration, and the encouragement you need to write the memoir only you can tell. Ready to make some magic? Let's dive in. Hey friends, and welcome back to the Making Memoir Magic podcast. I'm so glad that you are here and listening, and whatever you're doing at this moment, whether you're driving, taking a walk, folding the laundry, whatever you might be doing, I'm just glad that you're listening. And I really hope that you get something out of this episode, because I think it's going to open your eyes to some things that maybe you're not realizing. If you are one of those writers that has talked about writing a memoir and hasn't written much, or maybe you started and then stopped, this episode is for you. So let's dive in. I want to start with a question, something for you to think about. Have you ever felt like your story is hovering? It is a conscious feeling, like it is always there. It's in your periphery. It's on your mind. It's not on your mind. Something brings it back to the surface. Bottom line, it's always there. And maybe it has been there for years. Maybe it's been there for just a few months, but it's never forgotten. It's just circling over your head, kind of like a helicopter looking for a criminal or something like that. That's the only thing I can think of when I think of circling. But anyway, do you think about your writing when you are driving, or when you're folding laundry, or when you're walking your dog? Or are you one of those writers that you're in the shower and bam, it comes into your mind and you have some thoughts that you want to get down on paper, but hey, it would be all wet. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that when your stories stay with you like that, and they come up at odd moments, or they're always in your subconscious, that's when you know that your story matters. And that's memoir material right there. Okay. Those are the stories that have stayed with you. But for some reason, that hovering stays constant and you still don't start writing. Or maybe you start and then stop. Or maybe you write a few pages and then you all of a sudden think, who am I to tell this story? That's imposter syndrome. And we don't want any part of that. Imposter syndrome has no place in your book writing process. But if that's you and you identify with some of those statements, I want you to know that you're not alone, not even close. So today, that's why I'm going to walk you through 3 very real common mistakes that keep stories stuck. And more importantly, I'm going to show you how to move past them. So I want you to know something before I get into the mistakes and the strategies to overcome them. I want you to know that your story isn't stuck. It is just waiting. Okay. It's there. It's for you to bring out, for you to share. And I'm going to show you how to do it. So mistake number 1 that a lot of aspiring authors face is they're waiting until they figure it all out. So that is the perfectionist's favorite hiding place. You think you need to know the structure, the theme, or even how it ends, but you don't. Okay. Your memoir is not a problem to solve before you begin. You discover the story as you go. Sure, you need some semblance of organizational structure, and that might look different for everyone. It could be Post-its on a wall, a whiteboard that you write on, a list of potential chapters, or just an old-fashioned outline, which some people still love to use. But your memoir is a work in progress. The more you write, the more your story will unfold. And that's how you find clarity from movement, not just thinking about it. You can't outline your way into courage. You can't write your way there. So instead of asking, what's my story about? Try asking, what moment won't leave me alone? That's the doorway into writing your memoir. So the second mistake that I see often is writers who are overthinking every single word they put on paper. Imagine this. Maybe you've lived it. You sit down to write, and instead of writing, you start editing or judging your words or questioning what you're sharing or even second guessing. You're trying to write something good instead of something true. That's like trying to sprint while looking in a mirror. It slows you down. It twists your stride and it steals your momentum. Your first draft is never going to be your final draft, and it's not even your thinking draft. In the words of Anne Lamott, who wrote Bird by Bird and other wonderful books, it could even be a shitty first draft, but it's a start. Okay, so lower that bar to entry. Let yourself be messy and imperfect, because that's where the truth comes out. And it's important that you give yourself that permission to get it all out. You'll always come back and pare it down so that you discard what isn't necessary, which could delay your scenes from landing, and you get rid of those parts that make your story drag. But you can only do that when you write it all out imperfectly and honestly with truth and vulnerability. So I promise you, okay, and I don't usually make promises or guarantees, but if you write it all out at the beginning, letting it be messy and unedited, that you'll come back and be able to shape it into something beautiful later. So let it be clumsy, let it ramble, let it breathe. The magic doesn't come from getting it right the first time. It comes from showing up for yourself again and again. So number 3 mistake that I see a lot is aspiring authors don't have a framework. This is one that no one talks about enough. You think all you have to do is just write. But without a framework, writing a memoir can feel like trying to build a house without a blueprint. You end up overwhelmed. You're pulled in too many directions. A framework gives you the freedom to shape your story and write it with direction and momentum. And once you have that, everything changes. It actually becomes easier and you look forward to it. So here's what I want you to know. If you take anything from this episode, your story doesn't need more time. It needs a starting point. It needs structure, not perfection. It needs you showing up before you feel ready. So if this is stirring something in you, and if you're thinking, okay, maybe it's time that I actually write my memoir, I have an invitation for you. I'm offering a free workshop coming up soon. It's called The Memoir Blueprint: How to Stop Overthinking and Start Writing. This is where I will walk you through a simple and powerful framework that helps you get out of your head, get your story on the page, and finally feel like you know what you're doing. You can register at the link in the show notes and come as you are. Bring your messy ideas. That is more than enough. And if you're craving more support, real support from people who get it, then join my free Facebook group, Memoir Magic for Aspiring Authors. I'm going to share the link to the workshop registration and my free Facebook group in the show notes. So in my free Facebook group, writers show up, we ask each other's questions, we remind ourselves that our stories matter. Because while writing a memoir is very personal, it doesn't have to be lonely. Your story is never too small to be shared, and it's never too late. Okay, so if that's what you're thinking, I want you to stop right now. Now is the time, and give yourself that gift of telling your story and honoring your truth. So I look forward to seeing you at the workshop. I look forward to welcoming you into my Facebook group. And as always, I'm cheering you on. So keep writing, keep believing in the power of your story, because someone needs to hear it and your readers are waiting. And what are you waiting for? So with that, thank you for listening and happy writing. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Making Memoir Magic. I hope today's conversation inspired you to take the next step toward telling your unique story through memoir. Remember, your story matters and someone out there is waiting to read it. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. It helps others find the show. You can also connect with me on my website at carriekreisman.com, on Instagram at carrie.kreisman, or join my Facebook group, Memoir Magic for Aspiring Authors. You'll get more tips and inspiration on your memoir journey. And each Wednesday, I host a Memoir Magic write-in where you get to join other writers to accomplish the often arduous task of getting words on the page. Until next time, keep writing, keep sharing, and keep making memoir magic.